now we have all of the louvers installed. The next step is to install the pivot bar. We've already got our first section of pivot bar installed up there. We'll go see that in a second. This is going to be our second piece that we're going to install. First thing to do is check the status of the holes. You want to see if there's powder coating built up inside. If there is, you can simply take either a 3/8 or 7/16 drill bit, put it into the hole, kind of work it around, and that will get the powder coating cleared out. And that'll make it a lot easier to install these bearings. Now, after the bearings, the first one is installed with the shoulder up against this face, you're going to take your stainless steel screw, you're going to put it through that bearing. Then you're going to take your next bearing, put it on with the shoulder against this face. So this flange will be up against this face. Then you take your spacer and you put that over as well. Now with these pieces in place, this is going to screw directly into the louver. We're going to go up the ladder and see what that looks like. So this is our second section of pivot bar that we're installing. Here's our first. So the orientation of the bearings is a little bit different on this. So I've installed one bearing with the shoulder face on this face. I'm going to install my second bearing on this other pivot bar with the shoulder against this inside face. Then I'm going to take my stainless steel screw, put it through both of those bearings. Then I'm going to take my spacer, put that on the inside as well. I'm going to put that into the screw boss on the louver. I'm going to screw it in. Now, one thing to remember is keep your torque turned down pretty low on this. If your torque is turned up high on your drill and you go at this, you can strip out that screw boss and then that louver becomes more or less useless. So that's in now. I'm going to move on to my next one with the same orientation that I've said before. We've got the shoulder against this face. Going to put the screw through. The shoulder against the inside face now. Spacer. And you put it into the screw boss on the louver. And you drill it in. And you do that for the rest of the louvers down the line. So one last piece of advice for this pivot bar. You need to make sure that the end of your pivot bar is cut to only about 1/2 inch away from the hole. The reason for that is, if you extend this too far out, as this is coming down, if your gap isn't very big, your pivot bar can end up hitting the top of your beam and it won't close fully. So we recommend that you make sure that you cut this pivot bar only about 1/2 inch away from the end of that hole.